We are live. What's going on? been a few days since we went live, so much to discuss. There's been quite a few things happening in the MMA world. We have Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady going down this weekend. We got Israel Adesanya getting into some road rage. We got tonight, I know there's BKFC on as well. We got BKFC. We got one Denver, one championship. They're coming to the U.S. We got a Denver card on tonight, so that should be entertaining. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I like when we can get some of these other organizations popping a little bit and they get put on some good fights. So BKFC, Jeremy Stevens is fighting tonight too. So that'll be interesting because I always thought that he was a guy that was kind of, one of those gritty dudes that would probably do well in BKFC. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on with Jeremy Stevens. So, but other than that, man, we got the Sphere next week coming up. What's up, Tehran? How you doing, man? What's up, Colostrum? So, man, there's a lot going on right now, and it's only gonna pick up once we get into fight week next week because we got it feels like everything's just kind of rolling from there. We got the Sphere, then we got some fight nights mixed in. We got UFC Paris, which I kind of forgot about. So we got some stuff coming up. What's up, Rocco? How you doing, man? Looks like Ferguson is finally out the UFC. He's a free agent now. Yeah, I saw what you sent me, man. Yeah, Look, I hope so. I think that, Tony, if he wants to go do something else, great, but I don't think he should be in the UFC anymore. Personally, I just don't think he should be. I think that that's a ship that has sailed. I think that, I don't want to say it's a young man's game, but, it's a shark tank right now in the UFC. And we really don't even know really what's going on. So, I don't know it sounds like he's going to be a free agent, though. What's up, man? You watching Haggerty versus Superlek tonight? I'm going to see if I can stay up for it. Yeah, but definitely going to watch it in the morning at the bare minimum. But, yeah, I definitely want to watch it. So I'm excited. I love high-level Muay Thai, man. Love watching it. What's up, Craze? How have I been, man? We missed you. Yeah, a little bit of a I don't want to call it a break week. Still put out some stuff, but a little bit of a deload because I'm about to be about to be hitting it hard for the next several months here because the UFC, we got, like I was just saying, we got the Sphere. We got a bunch of great fight nights coming up. We got Paris. We got, their UFC's getting back to China. They're going to Tampa. We have 307, 308, 309, 310. We got a lot going on. So wanted to give myself a little bit of a deload. You know what I mean? And then we got the Edmonton card now, which just got Brandon Moreno and Amir Albazi added to it, which is interesting. That's a good fight. The front runners for Ferguson are PFL and one championship, I heard. I don't know, man. Where'd you see that? I don't know. I don't think one championship would be a smart move for him. Yeah, it's happening in Colorado, man. So, high-level Muay Thai is fun to watch. That is it's basically MMA minus the grappling. Well, it's going to be East Coast time. It's going to be East Coast time. So I think it'll be like 9 p.m. is when the main card will start. So, yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. It was on the article I sent you. Okay, I gotta look at that again. Would I move to Colorado? Hell no. Not what's going on right now out there in Colorado, man. Got all sorts of wild shit going on out there. Nope. But, yeah. I mean, look, Jonathan Haggerty, that's a dude that I would love to see in the UFC. Obviously the grappling is you're currently joining from the shitter, man. You're pooping. That's great. You're that's funny. What's up, Chad? Did I see the clown hiding behind his civilian status to test Izzy? I didn't even like you don't even like Izzy, but I would have been great seeing Izzy just mag dumped him. That would have been funny, man. Look, but then he would have sued the shit out of him. You know what I mean? He would have sued the hell out of him. You need your 8 hours of sleep, so if it's past your bedtime, you'll watch it in the morning. That's how, dude. Look, sometimes I just have a hard time staying up, man. For the UFC, I'm able to kind of do it, but for some of the other stuff, especially on like a Friday night, I get up early on Saturday to work out and everything, and I'm just like, So, Yuri versus a top 5 middleweight. Can he make the weight? That's my biggest question. That's my biggest question. Can he make the weight? Because, he's a big dude, and I don't know. I feel like his chin would be compromised, but I don't know. You just wiped everything's normal. Glad to hear it. You think it's way too risky to sign Tony? Tony's will just be used as like a resume builder for somebody, unfortunately, which is why I want him to hang it up. Because when you leave the UFC and you're older like that and you're going out on a losing streak, they just try to take your name and give you to somebody that they're trying to build, in all honesty. Ortega's about to shock a lot of people next Saturday. I could see him pulling it off, but we'll see. We'll see. Chad, you're picking Ortega also? So we got Chad and Tehran rolling with T-City. I don't know, man. Yeah, a lot of people are picking Lopez. I mean, he seems like he's the real deal, so I understand it. But, yeah, you can't roll out Ortega. Yuri does not need to cut the extra weight when his primary defense is his chin and a menacing grin. I think he should stay at light heavyweight. He's just got to get back on. He's got to get back on track because he's been really good outside of the. I mean, he was getting beat up a little bit by Rakic. He still won the fight, and then Poaton's been, got 2 victories over him. But outside of that, he's been pretty good. You're going with Lopez, Rocco? Yeah, I tend to lean towards Lopez, but I haven't made an official prediction yet. The UFC needs to keep Tony under contract to prevent some other promotion from giving him another fight. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, keep him locked in so that way he can't. I see what you're saying. Yeah, Lopez leaves himself open a little bit. He starts really fast. So if he can't get Ortega out of there early and then the fight, carries on into the later rounds, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Think about it. Diego pretty just has good BJJ and throws big meaty hooks. If Ortega can minimize the damage on the feet, his BJJ is way better. That's not a bad take. Not a bad take. Yuri versus Jan. I like that fight. What's up, Oscar? You're sick of people wanting to move up and down divisions. It's so annoying. Changing weight classes should be once in a career move when you're older and no longer have a future in your division. I don't think that that's a bad take. I understand what you mean. Who wins, Sergey Spivak or Jalton Almeida? I think Almeida can beat him. Got to agree. You think Tony's going to go down the same path as Crazy Horse? Yeah, look, they're just going to use him to build somebody. And I hate seeing that. I really hate seeing that. Even Dan Ige was tagging up Lopez standing. He was. Dan Ige is a better striker than Brian Ortega, though. But if you guys could like the stream, I would appreciate it too. But Dan Ige is a better striker than T-City, I think. T-City, I think, is decent striking, but I think Dan Ige is a better striker. Ortega versus Lopez gives you shades of Poirier versus BSD. But if Diego Lopez does beat Ortega, hot take, he deserves the next title shot over Volk. I mean, he'll probably be fighting for the belt next. Like, I would agree there. Does he deserve it over Volk? I mean, maybe, depending on how he beats Ortega. I think if he beats Ortega, like, impressively, it'd be hard to argue. Who wins, Manuel Torres or Ignacio Bahamondes? I'm not making any predictions yet, man. Just wait until my prediction card. I'll be dropping that probably on Monday. Yo, what's up, Aaron? I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the $20 super. I appreciate it, man. You're picking me for the win. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, everyone. I appreciate it, Aaron. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. Helps out the channel a lot, man. Thank you. Who do I think wins, Movsar versus Aljo? So my early thoughts were Aljo, but then I'm like, I don't know, man. He's making a lot of excuses, like almost built-in excuses, like, oh, he's a cheater, steroids. And I think Movsar is a better striker, and I think he's a better wrestler. The only problem is Movsar doesn't finish fights. Aljo is so I think Movsar is kind of where my head is at now, but Aljo's a better finisher than him. But Movsar is a better fighter. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird. So I don't know. Nobody wants to see Volk versus Ilya too. I don't want to see that either. Ilya will destroy him. What's up, Wick? Can't wait for Haggerty versus Superlek. It's a great fight, man. It's a great fight. The only thing that's susses me out is how easily Ortega got dropped his last fight. If this was 2021 Ortega, I would even hesitate. Yeah, I mean, Yair is a sniper, though, but I know what you mean. You would pick me to beat bedtime? I appreciate it. Ortega born in 1991, Lopez born 1994. That's only 3 years. Oh, that's interesting. Ortega's 32, Lopez is 29. Yeah, but Ortega's got way more miles on him, though. He's taking a lot of damage. What's up, Fanatic? How you doing, man? Yeah, I've been taking it a little lighter this week as well. Gear up for the next few months, man. You know? If Holloway doesn't beat Ilya, you don't think Ilya isn't losing the belt? The next featherweight GOAT comes along. It's like a cycle. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't wait for Holloway versus Ilya because that's going to be very telling for us. You don't think Ortega got dropped because he got hurt? I think it was the ankle. I don't know. He does a very good recovery, and he's durable as hell. He's your lock. Yeah, I don't think that Lopez would be able to sub him. So I think that he would have to. And would he win a decision over Ortega? I mean, maybe he could win a decision. I don't know, though. I don't know. Do you think it would benefit the UFC to organize events by weight class? You mean like have like a card that's like all bantamweights, a card that's all light heavyweights? Like probably not. Probably not. I like it being mixed up. Yeah, I wouldn't say a lock. I agree with you, Chad. I think that lock is a little bit far, but I understand. Look, we see this. We see this a lot. We see, these prospects climb to the top to where they become like a solid competitor in the division. And then what happens? They end up facing some, a veteran that just picks them apart and finds a way to beat them. So could that be this fight? Could be. Maybe. I don't know. Lopez does gas in the third. O'Malley turns 30 this year. That's wild. Yeah, if Lopez is, and again, Lopez had to deal with some shit. He didn't even have to take that fight. He was going to get his purse regardless. He was like weighing in at 145, then like a catch weight, then 160. Like that dude was getting woken up in the middle of the night for weight cuts, and he had all sorts of shit going on, so. O'Malley's a 30-year-old man. Yeah, I know. And UFC built him up very slowly as well. Yeah, Yair dropped Ortega. He did. You can pretty much tell me how the fight is going to go. Lopez is going to tire himself out trying to KO Ortega. Then Ortega is going to take him over and melt him. I don't know that Ortega is going to come out like a bat out of hell, though. Lopez. I think he's going to be a little bit more patient. Yeah, it's only 3 rounds. Bedtime's going with Ortega. You agree with Tehran 100%? Yeah, I see what you're saying, Tehran. Because if Lopez doesn't finish him early, we've seen veterans, they take over in the later rounds. The only thing is this. The mistake that the UFC has made is the UFC probably wants Lopez to win, right? I would say that they definitely would. It would be better for them if Lopez could win. But they put him in a 3-round fight instead of giving him a 5-round main event on a fight night, which we've seen them do with some of these guys. They give him like Pfeiffer. They gave him 5 rounds with Hermanson. If it was 3 rounds, he would have won. So they're at least giving him 3 rounds. So it definitely helps him out a little bit. If Ortega beats Lopez, would that be considered a fraud check? I don't think it would be a fraud check. To be honest, because Ortega is like top of the food chain in the division. He's fought for the title twice. No, I don't think that would be a fraud check. I think it would have been a fraud check if he like fought Sadiq Youssef and lost, or if he fought like a middle of the pack, like ranked featherweight, then it would be a fraud check. I don't think it's like a fraud check per se. You know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't know. Who do I got? I'm not putting out my predictions for any of the other than O'Malley Merab. I made a video on that, but yeah, check out my full card prediction video. That'll be coming out probably Monday for the Sphere, or maybe Sunday. So probably this week, Monday, I would say, full card breakdown. I'll put out my predictions then, man. I don't want to give anything away right now. You think Brady's going to sub Burns? It'd be pretty crazy. I don't think so, but that'd be crazy. Lopez got chinned on the regionals. He lost to Brito. I didn't know that. You could also see Ortega cracking Lopez in an exchange on the feet because, like I said, Lopez leaves himself open. I would agree. Zhang versus Tatiana. I mean, I think Zhang is that damn good. What's up, Brennan? How you doing, man? Am I hyped for one championship tonight? Yeah, man. I always love a good one championship card. I like watching some of their stuff in the mornings on Fridays as well. But yeah, whenever they come to like the US or something and they kind of stack out one of those cards, like where you got John Haggerty, who's one of my favorite Muay Thai guys of all time to watch, versus Saperlek, who's, you know, basically a legend at this point. It's a fun matchup. You think Saperlek gets it done? We'll see, man. We'll see. If anything, Burns submits Brady. That's what I personally bet on. Yeah, I don't. Gilbert Burns is crazy jiu-jitsu, man, and good MMA jiu-jitsu as well, which is important because it's a little bit different. What's up, SKR? Kaio versus Cannonier was such a beggar. That was a very good fight. Mikey the Nerd missed weight. Damn, man. I didn't see that. Lima versus Santos is going to be a war. I would think so. Sorry, I was thinking about something. I was thinking about something about Haggerty. But yeah, he's got a nasty a nasty teep. John Haggerty's got a very good one. Haggerty is a little weak to the body. He is. You wish they did more MMA cards and lore cards on my time. Yeah, no, dude, having a fight card at a good time of the day is like key, because when it's like too damn late, it's like, fuck, dude. It's hard to stay awake. At least for me. Tatiana's gonna submit Wei Li, mark my words. We'll see. That'd be a big win. That'd be a huge win for her. If Bilal can TKO Brady, then so can Burns. I believe that MMA math. Yeah, the only thing about Burns that scares me is he gets clipped with a jab and it drops him. And that worries me because it's like, how are you getting dropped with jabs, you know? So, but again, I think Gilbert Burns is I don't know. I think he can get it done. I think Sean Brady's like a pretty solid dude for 170 though. Didn't Cade pull it out? I don't know. Did he? I didn't see anything for that. You should not be surprised Burns is going to win against Brady, and then Brady will lose his momentum forever. I read the UFC script. Oh, man. Look, Sean Brady, he he had that big opportunity against Bilal and then got rolled on. And then he's kind of built himself back. But, dude, he's getting outstruck by Michael Chiesa. Like, Michael Chiesa's touching him up. You know what I mean? And so when I sit there and I think about that, I'm like, you know, Gilbert Burns, he's got a lot of power. The problem is he loops on a lot of his shots. But if he straightens them out a little bit, I think he can hurt Sean Brady. I think he can. You're rooting for Haggerty, but got Saperlek. So a couple of people have said they got Saperlek. We'll see. I mean, I love watching both guys fight. So Haggerty getting dropped by Lobo, then coming back and knocking out Lobo is so bad. I know, dude. That's grit, man. That's grit. I love seeing a nice comeback. Alex shouldn't move back down to middleweight. There's like no point. We don't know if he can make that weight again. Yeah, I agree 100%. And if you guys didn't see that video, it was my most recent video I put out talking about that. It's a bad move for him to go back to middleweight, man. Very bad move, in my opinion. Yeah, Burns is a little bit of a meaty hooks dude, for sure. He needs to straighten out. If you straighten out the shots, man, he could put guys down. He's got the power to do it. A collab with Rigo, who is that? Alessandro Costa could have easily got ranked number 11 this weekend. Shake my head, what a missed opportunity. I know, man. And didn't they move OSP versus Ryan Spann to the October 7 card, man? Like, what the fuck? I was excited for that this weekend. Don't know if you can pick Brady. The only issue is age, but stylistically, I don't think Burns would lose to a guy like Brady in his prime. That's kind of how I feel. And I thought Burns looked good against JDM until the last round. He got caught with a knee, and then it was downhill from there. But, Burns was the first to knock down Usman and Chimaev. He's got good – I'm telling you, Burns is power, man. He's got good power. The question is, can he land? Yeah, I'll check it out, man. I'll check that out. Pineda is trolling, but if he decides to move down, he will lose against DDP. I want to see it at 205. I want to see it at 205. I don't want to see him drained and a zombie and all that kind of stuff. I want to see him rejuvenated. Burns is 38. He is, but he takes good care of his body, so we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Klaus? How you doing, man? You're looking forward to Garcia versus Nelson the most. To be honest, that's going to be a great fight. I think Garcia is going to be able to finish him, but I think it's going to be a good fight. If Burns beats Brady, that would be so funny. That would be fun. I think Burns can pull it off. I think people are overlooking Burns. I went with Burns in this one. Canada hasn't had a solid fighter since GSP. Pretty true. And the other thing as well, they haven't had a reliable Canada star since GSP, because they've had some guys that they've been hopeful for, and they can't count on anybody. Burns weighed 210 at a grappling tournament. Yeah, he's a big dude, man. Gilbert Burns is a big dude. And he's got like no neck. He's like, he's a big dude, man. Gilbert Burns is a powerful guy for that weight class. It's hard to believe that he used to fight at 55. Both Burns and Brady fighting for their father. Bilal's approval. Canada loves Sean Strickland. Yeah, Sean Strickland, I guess, could be like yeah. And when he was in Australia, they were rooting for him as well. That's kind of interesting. You thought Tai Tuivasa was Canadian? Nice, Samoan, man. Canada does need a new star. Shame GSP didn't trade a successor. Yeah, GSP, I mean, he was that wasn't Faraz Sahabi his coach, and there was a lot of people at that gym. Just no one's been able to, really go to that next level there. Steve Garcia versus Jean Silva. That'd be wild. I think Jean Silva is a monster. You're going to the Sphere next week? Damn, dude, that's awesome. That's sweet. The experience will be cool. I'm not wild about the card, but I think that the experience will be cool, though. Sounds like. Just dropped my phone, damn it. And again, I'd be curious to see. You should take some videos, man. See if you can see all those trucks out there that Dana's talking about. We got the 4 trucks out there. We got all the. Remember what he was talking about? We're gonna have like 18,000 trucks out there and all this production nonsense going on. And I don't know. Sounds like a bunch of hoopla to me. Jean Silva versus Brito. That would be a war. That would be a crazy fight. That'd be a crazy fight. Zalal versus Nate the Train. Kolstrom's the matchmaker, man. You're the matchmaker. You think the Sphere will be a letdown, though? Yeah, it kind of feels that way. It does feel that way. I don't want to be a hater, man, because you're going, and I don't want to, talk down on it. But it was overpromised. And the second coming of UFC 300 is UFC 308. You would have thought that the Sphere would be the card that they would do that, but UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi is literally one of the best cards the UFC has ever put together. And let's hope that it stays together. From the early prelims to the main card, that's one of the best cards the UFC has ever put together, from top to bottom. And people thought that I was being ridiculous when I said that main card was, this card was going to end up being one of the best cards. And, what the hyperbole. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, they're going to build that card, Who walks out of the room? John Jones. you guys know John Jones is the greatest of all time? Pound for pound, number one. I think it's Islam Makhachev, but you're curious to see what the screen will be used for during the fights at the Sphere. Probably like they're going to play like those like little short films or something is what they were saying in the background. What's up, BG? Wonder if the Sphere will be overwhelming in person. I can imagine getting a headache from looking at all that shit. Yeah, I put shit at the end of that for you. Yeah, that would be messing with my head too. And that tweet that you had about Ali was hilarious, by the way. I saw that. Or tweet or post or whatever the fuck you call it on that platform on X these days. Big mistake on the UFC to make 306 Mexican themed and competing with Canelo on the same night. I know. But again, you know, and I look at it and I'm like, why wasn't Brandon Moreno on this card? And why wasn't Yair Rodriguez on this card? I feel like that would have helped out a lot. But, you know, we don't know fighters if they're ready, if they're injured, if they're, you know, I don't know. John Silva would do Brito like he did Dober? Probably. I think so. You think Ilya versus Max is going to do 500 to 600K pay-per-view buys? Probably. I would think so. UFC 308 is going to have an event or two drop off. Let's be honest. Yeah, I hope not, though. We can let's hope it holds together. Who walks out of the closet? You think that John Jones is the pound for pound worst human being that's ever happened to be a fighter? There's definitely been a lot of bullshit. Someone on Twitter said Nina Drama walks in a room of content creators. Nina Drama's the only one who walks out. She's a interesting individual. The walkouts will be epic. I would think so. I would hope so with all the technology and shit that they're putting into it. I would hope so. The UFC is doing a fighter through the ages, starting with an Aztec warrior and ending with a Mexican UFC fighter, kind of like the old Roman soldier intro. That would be very interesting. That would be interesting. I'm curious to see what it looks like. Is Nina really almost 40? How old is she? I don't even know how old she is. She acts like she's 10. So it's hard to know how old she is, I guess, unless you look it up. She's 36. She acts like she's fucking 10. I don't know. Is she actually that old? If you are what you say you are. You can't hear Aztec Warrior without thinking of Baby Joker from Friday. Yeah, Nina is a little bit cringe. She is. With some of the content, she's a little, yeah, for sure. I like when she did the smasher pass with Hamzat Chimaev. I thought that was funny as fuck. Because he didn't understand the concept. Have you guys seen that? If you haven't seen that, you got to watch that. She's like, you want to play smasher pass? I'm like, what? Smash. He just that was funny. I thought that was funny. She's 36 in December. I can't believe she's that old. I thought that she was like, well, I'm not exactly surprised, but she acts like she's like 10. Usman Nurmagomedov fighting tomorrow too. Yes, for Bellator versus Alexander Shabli. That'll be interesting. That'll be a good fight. I think Usman will win, but I don't know. Yeah, I think Sean will finish Merab as well. Yeah, she acts like she just reached 21. Well, what do we have here? Did I just fly back from the 80s barbershop? Yes, I did. Where did Megan O'Leary go? That's actually interesting that you say that. That's interesting that you say that because I was thinking about that. We haven't seen her in a while. Yeah, that is funny with because Hamzat's like, what? The bar song Tipsy. I've heard that song. Nina's 36 and childish. She's absolutely insecure in her post. Primarily consists of thirst traps showing her body. She's a clown. Well, I thought it was funny when she does she spars with them, and every time they barely kick her, and she's like and drops to the ground, and I'm like, okay, you don't need to overdo it like that, you know. She's been backstage doing some of the post fights. Yeah, because now that you mention it, I haven't seen her out in the open as much anymore. I always thought it was dumb when they would have her like standing in the tunnel and then they like pan away from her and show like the walkout. I'm like, why would you have her there? And then like, I don't know. Her boyfriend's the the cameraman and her quarterman in the hotel room. That's fucked up, but you might not be wrong. I'm looking slick. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, yeah. A little greased lighting. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I think. Yeah, she's definitely like strategic from Dana White in the UFC for sure. I think. Yeah, I think so. I think so. It like gets people to stop their scroll and caters to people who maybe aren't UFC fans. Yeah, for sure. She's definitely kind of like a. Yeah. Do I think Song is going to headline the China card? That's the fight night, right? November. Um, maybe they do a fight night where they do Zhang Wei Li. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he'll definitely probably be on that card. But it's funny how Merab and O'Malley are going to both find ways to duck Umar. It looks like we're looking at one of those diagrams where it's false choice since both paths leads to Umar. I wouldn't want to fight Umar either, man. Yeah, O'Malley's like, I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to go up to 45. I'm going to take a boxing match. And he's like, I'm going to fucking retire. Sayonara. He didn't say he was going to retire, but I wouldn't want to fight Umar either. That's the hardest fight in the division by far. Yeah, Durden was her last name. Yeah, with that looping overhand right. That was nasty. Your friend who's not in the MMA world randomly watched a video of her talking about yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like I don't know. That's it gets people talking, it gets people interested that aren't exactly fight fans. So and it puts their social media numbers through the roof, and that's what they care about. Because that's what Dana does. He pulls up with that power slap cup and he's like, did you see our social media? This had 50 million views. And I feel like Dana talks out of his ass a lot. I like Dana. I think he's funny, but sometimes I think he just says some shit. It will be sad when Sean gets knocked out. When do you think Sean gets KO'd? Against who? Do I think we see Umar versus Ilya? I think we would probably see Ilya versus Makachev before we would see that one. I think that would be the one to make. You think Van's going to get KO'd in 2 minutes? Yeah, I'm surprised that, Van's stepping in again, trying to get back on track, but he just got KO'd by Charles Johnson. Yeah, I don't understand the whole thing about protecting him from Ankalaev, though. Like, it seems like that. It does seem like that, and I like Ankalaev a lot. I'm just confused because Ankalaev is a wrestler, but he has really no ground and pound threat, and he doesn't sub anybody. So why is it like that he's so terrifying? Jan Blachowicz took Pineda's back and was submitting people. So I don't know that there's this like protection thing going on. I think the UFC just doesn't like Ankalaev is what it is. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if Ankalaev took a shit on Dana's desk. I don't know if he like I don't know. Like I just don't think they like Ankalaev for some reason. I don't think that they're like protecting Alex from him because if you think about it, Ankalaev, yes, he can wrestle, but he's a striker. He's literally a striker. He's a damn good striker. So I just don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. Yeah, James Lynch is he's doing a lot of good stuff, man. He's doing a lot of good stuff. What's up, Tash? You think he's a goofball? I think he's a goofball. You think we get Usman in the UFC? Usman, yeah, I hope so. I hope so. He's a great fighter. I'd love to see him against the competition inside the UFC. Van pulled out. No, I think someone else pulled out and then Van stepped in. Ankalaev's a striker. That's what I'm saying. I think he does stand with him. He's a striker, and he could knock out Poatan. I don't know if he does, but he definitely has the ability to do it. Did I see RoboCop says Ikram ducked him? I didn't see that, but that would be a good fight. RoboCop versus Ikram. Looking just Jamal Hill's going to fight in December. Yeah, hopefully we can get Hill back in there soon. Ankalaev is boring. Some of his fights have been entertaining, but some of them have been boring. Yeah, Alex is definitely a bigger draw. There's no question. No question. Ankalaev didn't get the shot because of the post-fight interview after the Yan fight. That's what I think. I don't remember the post-fight interview. What did he say? What did he say? Who would you have in Usman versus JDM? You want to see it happen next? I think JDM could beat him. Because I think Usman's a little older now. He doesn't wrestle as much anymore. And I think JDM would be able to beat him, especially if it stays on the feet. Now, if Usman can go back to prime Usman and just wrestle him, I think he could win. But I don't know. I think JDM would be a little too fast. Wonder who Hill fights? Yeah, depending on the timeline, I could see him versus Yuri, him versus Volkan Oezdemir would be a good fight. I like that fight. Volkan Oezdemir, man, people are forgetting about him. He's good. He's on a little bit of a hot streak right now. Volkan Oezdemir, don't sleep on the guy. Who's that's Nikita Krylov. He's fighting Azamat coming up, right? So Volkan Oezdemir, he's a guy. Don't forget about Volkan, man. Dona holds what's my thoughts on Rich Homie Quan? I don't know what happened. I mean, RIP. I don't know what happened. What happened? Did he just like? I didn't read the article on what happened. I just saw people posting about it, and I was like, damn, he was only 34. Dana holds grudges. He's still upset about the Ankalaev Blachowicz fight. Yeah, it seems like that. Seems like that. Jamal Hill is busy fighting himself. Yes, he seems like that sometimes. Volkan Oezdemir, yeah, can't forget about the guy, man. Can't forget about the guy. No time. Yeah, he's been on a hot streak. Yuri versus Hill in December. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Yuri versus Hill and then do Oezdemir versus Blachowicz, however you say it. He OD'd. Damn, I didn't know that what the cause was. That's wild, man. Don't forget, no time. Oezdemir points to the wrist after quick work. I know, man. I like Oezdemir, man. I like Oezdemir. People tend to forget, and he went to a decision with Ankalaev. You know, this whole notion that that Poatan's ducking Ankalaev, I don't think is true. I just think the UFC doesn't like Ankalaev. That's what I think. That's what I think. And when Dana doesn't like you, he fucks you. You know what I mean? He like makes you take the long road, just like Merab. If Merab loses the belt, he'll never fight for it again. They'll put him through murderer's row. They'll give him to Umar next. They'll be like, O'Malley's going up to 45, Umar versus Merab. I'm telling you, if you do something that pisses off Dana in the UFC, they're like out to get you, man. They're like out to see you like slip and fall and fail. That's like the truth, I feel. Volkan does have very good hands in the division. Yeah, maybe a little undersized, but he's got power, though. He's got some serious power. Jan said to give Ankalaev the belt, and Ank said he would go to other organizations if the judges keep robbing him. Some people have been saying the translator misinterpreted. Yeah, I don't know. That's wild if he said that, though. That's wild if he said that. The UFC is praying for Khamzat to beat Robert Whittaker. Yes, they are. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Khamzat's a big star. He's got like 8 million followers on Instagram. He's got quite the following. Yeah, people are messed up, man, online. That's why I try to dial back my my social media usage these days. You know, I try to get the MMA news and some of the other shit, but it can get toxic out there. Yeah, I'm praying for Khamzat to show up. Also, O'Malley gets Cheeto, Merab gets Umar. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's like Dana, they like let people speak their mind, but like if you say negative shit about Dana, they kind of hold it against you. So that's probably the reason Dana in the UFC mad at him. That probably, now that you explain that, yeah, probably. Look at how he handled Francis exits the sour Mr. Krabs, Dana. Mr. Krabs, that's funny. Called him Mr. Krabs. I like that. Mr. Krabs. I like that. That's funny. Volkan should get a ranked fighter in the top 5. I agree. I agree. Do I think the UFC will let Alex fight DDP? I believe that Alex beats DDP easy. Last time he fought a middleweight, he got KO'd, but he got overzealous, but he will be more locked in this time. I think that they'll let him fight him, but keep him at 205. I just don't think it's detrimental to cut that much weight when he's blown up, dude. Like, he's a lot bigger than he was back when he was cutting to 185. You can see it when he was kickboxing and he was fighting at 185. He was like a tall, lanky string bean, and now he's like big and bulky. Even though he was cutting quite a bit of weight, and because I've watched Peloton for many years, man. Like, I've watched him in kickboxing for a long time. And even when he was fighting at 205 in kickboxing, it was just basically he wasn't cutting any weight, or he was cutting very minimal weight. But when he was making 185, he wasn't real sucked out. He just stayed very like lean. Like, he was a very lean, like tall grasshopper, praying mantis looking thing. And now he's like a big, bulky, solid dude to where it's going to be a lot harder to get down, and you're going to be just draining your body. You got to see it in the second Izzy fight. You know what I mean? He just looked from the weight cut, he just looked sucked out. Even when he rehydrated, he didn't look very good, in my opinion. After Khalil beats him, he'll go back down to 185. You think Khalil's going to beat him? Yeah, probably no, but yeah, the card kind of is a disappointment, and the tickets are crazy. That's why Dana didn't like Corey Anderson, because Anderson actually stood up for himself and it didn't bow down to Uncle Dana. Yeah, if they'll toss you, man. Pereira at 205 in kickboxing looked like 185 Pereira in the UFC. What do you mean? You mean like kind of like lean, like kind of like string beanish, to where now he's like, that's what I'm saying. Now he's like a big dude. Like, he's not like this string bean anymore. Like, he's he's like a big dude now. That's the difference. Like, he looks like he could, if someone said that he was moving up to heavyweight, I'd be like, he doesn't look undersized to me. Where back when he was fighting at 185 and Glory, or even I'm like, that guy looks kind of small. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Tito always said, Dana's my bitch. I know. I love how Dana and Tito had a beef. Be safe out in the real world, man. It's dangerous out there. It's dangerous out there. Dana's a psychopath. A lot of these promoters are. Don King is another example. No empathy or human emotion at all. I mean, yeah, sometimes they're brutal. They're definitely brutal. What do you mean I got some up my sleeve? What do you mean? You see, away Roundtree beats Alex. Like, Alex is always locked in when he's in the cage. Could be. I mean, maybe, Roundtree's got good striking, but I don't know, man. I don't know. What do I think about Jones getting trolled by posting a picture of him, add the youngest chip, and then underneath it said, I'm ducking. I don't know, man. I think John's just, I don't know. I think he's butthurt over it for sure. Which fight would you rather see, Prime Silva versus Pereira at 205 or Prime Penn versus Prime Gaethje? I'd rather see Prime Silva versus Pereira. You still can't believe Dana was going to box Tito? That would have been fun, man. I think Dana would have won, too. Tito can't box for shit. Khalil has 10 times better defense than Hill and Yuri. That he does. That he does. Dana even made weight. That would have been fun, and I would have loved to have seen that. Alex is going to decimate Roundtree. I'm not underestimating Roundtree, but Alexis levels above him. Yeah, I think, look, Alexis fought a lot of guys that fight like Roundtree, and Roundtree's very explosive in the first round, but he fades after that. And, he's getting picked apart by Dustin Jacoby. And, I know it's a little bit of a different style, but the only thing about Peloton is he's very good, but he's very basic. You know what he's going to do. He's going to throw those calf kicks. He's going to throw a jab to the body. Occasionally, he's going to throw a right hand. And he's going to try to land a left hook. That's literally his entire game plan. And he stands there like this behind that long guard and just tries to, move in and out of range. And you know exactly what he's going to do. The problem is, can you stop it and can you avoid it? That's the issue. You will trust the UFC again if they actually make Jones versus Aspinall. Then I'm about angry at them no more. This is a fight organization, not Make-A-Wish Foundation. Yeah, I mean, Jones versus Aspinall is definitely the fight to make it heavyweight. Khalil loops his right hand so much when he throws, he's literally asking for Poaton's left hook to the chin over the shoulder. 100%. 100%. What's up, Haunter? Thoughts on Trevor Peek? I think he's entertaining. I think he's entertaining for sure. You think if Alex loses to Roundtree, that kind of messes up his momentum? 100%. That would definitely halt his momentum. They'd give him a rematch too. But yeah, it would halt his momentum. Yeah, the Trevor Peek. Exciting, man. The fight to make is Alex versus Jones. Nah, I think it's Aspinall versus Jones, man. Imagine Jones, Aspinall, and co-main DDP, Pereira, and Dustin versus Gaethje 3. That'd be a crazy card. That'd be a crazy card. No doubt about it. That'd be a crazy card. I don't know if they'd put all those on the same card because of like timing and the way it kind of works out, but you don't think the long guard works in MMA? I think it does a little bit. You just got to be able to modify it a little bit. The only, because the small gloves, holding your hands up glued to the side of your head doesn't work as well because you're in those tiny gloves and when you got your hands out in a way. But yeah, I think it has its pros and its cons. Why do you say it doesn't work though? I'd be curious to know what you mean. I think Jones can beat Aspinall as well, especially if it goes past the first round. I think John definitely, if Peak wins, they give him Aspinall. Yeah, maybe. Ankalaev is the Bilal of light heavyweight. His path to the title is going to be rough. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, he already did fight for the title, though. I agree, but he did fight for the title at least. Bilal never even got a chance before that. The two, it's always open when you work with the long guard. Yeah, that straight shot down the middle for sure. Aspinall versus Prime Kane would have been a banger. That would have been a crazy fight. John beats Tom and everyone cries. It's sad that we will never get Alex versus Yuri trilogy. Yeah, if that was one of the only reasons selfishly I was like, man, if Yuri can pull it off, it would be fun because then we would get a crazy trilogy. But I figured Alex was going to beat him much easier this time around. Francis versus Tom. Who do I got? I think Tom could beat him. Tom's speed would be a problem for Francis. You'd bet on Ankalaev to beat Pereira. He's got great hands when he lets go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Ankalaev, everyone's like, oh, his grappling. Like, he does have good wrestling, but he's a striker. He's absolutely a striker, and he's more than capable of possibly knocking out Poatan. I think he's the guy that's got the best shot to do that at light heavyweight. The only reason you're watching the UFC Noche is for O'Malley versus Merab, which Merab will win, by the way. I mean, I think I think O'Malley's going to win, but it's an interesting matchup. Alex did make it look very easy against Yuri the second time, for sure. Is Hill versus Vulcan 50-50? I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, the straight two. That's what Izzy kept landing on him. But you have to shoulder roll, which Poatan started to learn to do there, to just utilize a shoulder roll. Tom would turn Francis into a wrestler. When Francis fights someone with crazy power, he fights timid and goes to the wrestling. Well, yeah, I mean, and I think the footwork of Aspinall would be a problem. And the speed, that would be the difference. The speed of Tom, I think. Vulcan beats Hill, to be honest. I think Vulcan's on a hot streak right now, man. You think Jan versus Hill is 50-50? That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Shoulder roll, open for the head kick after the two. Yeah, but you got to keep your hands up. Oh, right after it. Yeah. If you bring it up on the same side. Yeah, you throw a right hand and then a right high kick behind it. Merab has to close the distance with Sean. Otherwise, Sean is going to win. Yeah, it's hard to close the distance because Sean's very fast. He's got good footwork, and he's got those front kicks he's going to be throwing up the middle. Yuri to 185. I mean, I don't think it's a great move for Yuri, to be honest. Hill doesn't. He doesn't have very good defense. He leaves himself very open. Pineda fought very scared at middleweight. He knew his chin was compromised. Makes you wonder why he wants to go back down. I think it's just kind of a marketing ploy, to be honest with you. Gets people talking. Kind of that McGregor blueprint. Let me just go on Twitter or social media when something happens revolving something interesting and kind of make it about you to a degree, you know? Yuri versus Izzy would be entertaining. Alex beats everyone at 205. Yes, I do think Alex beats Goliath too. I mean, I think Alex is he's just looks the way that he's, filled out to his frame, the way I think he even looks more technical at 205 now too. So, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I think Sean's going to time him and catch him with the right hand. At 185, I think DDP beats Alex at 205. I don't know, man. I think it's a good fight. People forget Aljo had Sean against the cage in round 1, so if Merab can get him against the cage, he's going to wear on his gas tank. Could be. Could be. I'm excited for the fight, man. I'm excited to see Merab and O'Malley because, again, striker versus grappler. We know what Merab's going to try to do. We know what O'Malley's going to try to do. It's very cut and dry. So it'll be interesting. People Alex sleeps DDP at 205. I mean, Alex just looks like a problem at 205, man, honestly. Yeah, I saw he's got those, they got like the Riyadh Noche, whatever specific black and gold shorts that look kind of cool. Yeah, I think that Merab is just not very good on the feet. He leaves himself very open to being countered, and I think he's going to be reacting to everything O'Malley does. He's going to be flinching like crazy. Anthony Pettis is the only fighter to KO Wonderboy and sub Oliveira. That's wild, man. That's wild. Isn't that crazy? That's what makes fighting so crazy. So, but yeah, I think, look, Merab there's really no danger other than he's just going to drown you with his pace and pressure. He doesn't sub anybody. He doesn't finish anybody. O'Malley's not Jan or Aldo that likes to fight in the pocket and kind of they're more stationary, more Thai-based. You know what I mean? Where O'Malley's like very karate taekwondo-like, where he's like moving in and out, utilizing footwork, cutting angles, moving around. Harder to get a hold of a guy like that. That was a lucky KO from Anthony. Yeah, that little like Superman punch. He's 5'9" max. I mean, I could see it. I could see it. The hair makes him 5'11". When he's got his hair all like poofed out, it makes him 5'11". Have I done any fight companions or am I going to start? Maybe at some point. I just don't want to set the precedent that I'm going to do companions, but I don't want to be on the hook to do them all the time because I'm a nerd, man, fight nerd. I like to sit there and have some food and really watch the fights and dial myself in. Maybe at some point. We'll see. But what's up, Joey, by the way? I appreciate it. Do you see the staph on Merab, that plus the cut on the eye? You think he's fucked if he has cardio hindered? He's nothing. That's a good point. That's true. I did see the pictures of that. Seems like he's just trying to make excuses or something at this point. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. It was not a lucky KO. He set it up. Sean's footwork won't work against Topuria. Topuria is a hard fight for a lot of strikers, man. He's got very tight defense. He's got good head movement. He's got good boxing. He's got crazy power. He's explosive. Topuria, I think Topuria is just good, man. I think Topuria is good. People hate on him because he's, he talks a lot of shit, which I don't understand. I think it makes it more entertaining. But, I think Topuria is the real deal. No doubt about it. Yeah, Merab's not doing himself any favors. I don't know why you would be telling your opponent that you have a cut, why you got, staff basically if he does. It makes no sense. Appreciate it, Julian. Thanks for tuning in, man. It's wild how easily Pettis read through Oliveira. That was like the old Oliveira, though. Fundamental boxing is the best striking in general, beats Muay Thai or Dutch kickboxing. Well, once you learn how to box and then you understand how to defend against kicks and stuff and work out of a clinch, you know, boxing could definitely be an issue. Ely is a dangerous fighter on the feet and on the ground. Yeah, he's got very good wrestling and he's got good submissions as well. Yeah, but if you can learn how to defend kicks and you have really good boxing, you understand how to defend kicks, check kicks, block them, time them to get in and out of range and out of the way and turn it into a boxing match, it makes it hard. A lot of kickboxers can't box, man. You think Ilya chins Max too? Yeah, I think that there's a real shot, man. I think there's a real shot. What's up, Tony? How you doing, man? Yeah, I think that Topuria is going to invest in the body. We haven't seen anybody really do that to Holloway, have we? Go after his body and attack him. Knows Holloway's durable, beat him up to the body, get his hands to lower, and then eventually come back upstairs and try to finish him that way. Yeah, I don't know that he'll quit on body shots, but it's more or less kind of taking some wind out of the sail, zapping that gas tank a little bit, kind of hurting him a little bit to where it's affecting the breathing. His hands start to lower to try to protect the body a little more. And now that clean shot upstairs that we normally don't see someone land, the one that could put him out, maybe that becomes open. You went hopping yesterday for the first time in a while. I had so much fun, but I injured my knee. I got to take a what the fuck, man? What do you mean hopping? I think he's going to set it up as well. You think O'Malley might give Holloway problems on the feet? He could because he's fast, man. Yeah, Max does have sick boxing. He does. It's just a little bit different. The stance, the way they move, it's a little bit different. Yeah, Max getting KO'd would be wild. I don't know. It'd be crazy. Holloway versus O'Malley at some point. That would be interesting. I don't know if we'll get it, but that'd be crazy. You meant hooping? No, I got you, man. Were you doing some hooping at LA Fitness or something? But yeah, I mean, maybe we see O'Malley versus a featherweight next. I don't know. It sounds like it. Sounds like he's not wanting to fight Umar. I don't blame him either. I don't blame him. I don't think anybody can blame him. Max has taken the most significant strikes in UFC history. You could see him going down. So he's taking some mileage, man. I know he's only like 32, I think, which basically is like your prime, but he's taking a lot of damage, man. Yeah, Holloway does struggle against shorter opponents. I don't know how much shorter O'Malley would be, though. I don't know how much shorter he would be. You were hooping at LA Fitness. I guessed it right, man. Ilya has closed type boxing. He's got very good boxing, man. His defense is good. He's got that good high guard. He's very compact. Not a lot of openings, that's for sure. The best way to get after him is to attack that lead leg and then eventually try to set up a head kick or something. That's the best way to get after him. O'Malley's definitely going to be an inch or two shorter. Yeah, probably. O'Malley's fast, man. He's got good power and he's fast, you know? Yeah, it says O'Malley's 5'11". I wonder if his hair is like part of that, though, you know? Ilya will get chin one day. Bad, though, if he stays long enough. He almost did against Jai Herbert. And what's crazy is he was able to recover, grapple, make it through, and then come back and brutally Jai Herbert. KO him. That was nuts, man. Umar's coming for that belt. O'Malley better get a big champ versus champ fight while he can. They're going to do that next fight probably for him. They're going to prolong the Umar fight. I don't know who Umar is going to fight in the meantime, though. That's the issue. Because, like Umar's a big name and he definitely has a big, he's definitely got a big fan base. He's got Habib in it, he's Team Habib, all that. And, the name, like people, here in Nurmagomedov, they tune in. But again, O'Malley is like Dana's like boy, you know what I mean? So that'll be interesting to see how they handle that. Yeah, when he KO'd Herbert, that was wicked, man. There's no doubt about it. That was wicked. It was a nasty right hand. No doubt about it. Wait, who's 5'9"? Max is? Oh, no, you're saying O'Malley is. You've seen him in person? If Umar doesn't get the next title fight, then he should fight Merab to cement his title shot. Yeah, depending on what happens for at this fight at the Sphere, I think that that'll be kind of telling on what Umar should do next for sure. Yeah, I think that Figgy, they're probably going to do him and Jan next or something. If he could get a win there, then he should fight for the title. Maybe they do Umar versus Figueiredo in the meantime, maybe. O'Malley and Holloway look like the same height. They could be. They could be. They're built kind of the same. Max a little bit bigger, but yeah, Figgy versus Jan is a great fight, man. I love that matchup. I love that matchup because Figgy, I think, definitely tries to grapple, and he's got the speed and he has the power in his hands. So we'll see, man. Peyton beats Cheeto. I think so also. I think so also. Because what seems to be giving Cheeto the issues now is the speed. So he's just, and I thought that he was actually putting his foot on the gas a little more than usual in that last fight against Figueiredo, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I think Cheeto's a good fighter. I like him. I think he's fun. I think that he's a cool personality and everything. He's got a sick style. I like it, music, clothing. I like his style and everything. I just don't, yeah, I think that he's a little bit of a step down from like the elite guys in the division. And bantamweight is the deepest division right now too. Middleweight's up there too now, man. Middleweight's been really rolling. After the Ilya fight, if Max loses, needs to move up permanently. Him and Ortega at 155 will bring life to the division because it's been stale lately. Yeah, I think Max at 55 would be great. I wish he would just stay there. But him versus Topuria is definitely a compelling fight. But I like Max at 55, especially the way he looked against Gaethje. So, yeah, Cheeto's got some drip, man. I agree. I agree. Yeah, Michael Morales, man. It's not often you see a prospect like that gets into the rankings and is undefeated and as solid as he is, man. He is a stud. He's a very good fighter. He's got good striking. His grappling is actually pretty good, which we haven't seen a ton of, but he's got good grappling. So I'm excited to see what's next for him, man, because he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, and that step up in competition is evident. It's coming. Michael Morales is going to get chin soon. He's so open on the feet. Could be. We'll see. We'll see. Because he's definitely going to get a killer next, man. Because he's ranked, I think, 12 or something now because he just beat Magny. So he's going to get somebody probably in the top 10 next or close to it. So he's a good fighter, though. He's a good fighter. But you saw that Michael Morales walks around at 220. That's huge if that's true. Cheeto and Sandhagen are both mediocre. I mean, I think Cheeto's kind of mediocre. I think Sandhagen's like between mediocre and then like top of the food chain. I think he's very well rounded and he's good, but he's just, I don't know. I like Sandhagen, and I like both guys, but yeah. Bilal said that in the JRE. That'd be interesting. I'll have to go back and listen to. I'll have to go listen to that because that's big, man. 220 to be making 170. That's huge. And a lot of those middleweights, they're about that size, cutting down to 185. So that'd be crazy. But I'm going to hop off here, man. I appreciate everybody hopping in. I wanted to get a live in because I know, I'll probably do the pre-fight live tomorrow also before the Burns versus Brady card starts. So just wanted to get on here. Like I said, we got a big fight week coming up. So I'll do a recap video following Burns versus Brady, and then I'll be putting out my full card predictions for the Sphere for 306. So what's up, Classy, man? But yeah, I appreciate you guys hopping on here, man, and I'll see you next time.